Liverpool defeated Manchester City and became the undisputed favorite for the Australian Football League Cup. Another tragedy on the football field. Fiorentina versus Inter match was halted after player Fialok suffered a severe injury. A perfect victory for Chelsea, the biggest win over MU in the last 3 years, and Mohamed Salah. Again, talking about leaving Liverpool. We're talking about this and much more today. Friends, this is a dose of football, which means the top 10 hottest news items are already ready for your viewing. I remind you to show up tomorrow. Today we need to gather 5,000 thumbs up. Personally, I will definitely put my like. I expect the same from you. And of course, I wish you a pleasant appetite and a pleasant viewing. Napoli leads Serie A again. The team pulled off a hard-fought minimal victory away at Torino and pulled 4 points clear of Atalanta. But the Bergamo team has a game in hand. The only goal of the match was scored by Matuidi with an assist from Higuain. The Georgian will never agree with the club about a new contract. Azzurri fans have every reason to worry. Moreover, many European grands are following Kvici. For example, the Spanish. Toto Fichajes writes that Barcelona and Real Madrid are both interested in Credana. Apparently, both clubs became interested in the player primarily due to such a convenient transfer opportunity. It appears Vicha will depart Napoli as a free agent, or the club will be forced to sell him at a huge discount. Both Real and Barca have a very strong left flank. In Madrid, Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo are set to play. And Brahim Diaz with Gularam are definitely also capable of stepping up if needed. Barcelona also has a great selection. Rafinha, Fermin Lopez, Ferran Torres, Pablo Torre, Pau Victor, and Dani Olmo. Where else does the team need another left winger? There is a feeling that it's better to go to Varadzhili in the APL or maybe to PSG. Let the Georgian who has dreamed of playing in La Liga since childhood. Napoli is already looking for a replacement for their leader. According to Napoli's publication, they are following Federico's situation in Liverpool. The Italian rarely plays, making him unhappy. The footballer has only 78 minutes for the new club. He didn't change Turin for Liverpool because of this. Meanwhile, they're not exactly thrilled in Merseyside that they've signed Feta. The Italian has a solid contract, and they expected him to contribute off the bench. But Feta can't reach peak fitness due to muscle issues. If Napoli offers 30 million euros for winger, Liverpool is unlikely to refuse. In the end, the player got there for free. And after the sale, the club will come out at a substantial profit. Perhaps it's better to sell Feta this winter, rather than wait for Chiesa to unfold. Of course, personally, I still believe that the Italian can be useful to the club due to the intense schedule. PSG drew against underdog Nantes, despite a massive advantage. The hosts had a huge possession, many moments and advantages in all metrics. But they couldn't score more than once against Nantes. Luis Enrique said after the match that he doesn't know how to explain such misfortune. But if this was just bad luck, it's a psychological crisis against the backdrop of unsuccessful results in the Champions League and mediocre style of play. Moreover, the team lacks a leader among the attacking footballers. There's no one who, by his example, will calm the partners and make them not lose concentration at the crucial moment. A duller strike and less precise rotation can make all the difference for the goalkeeper and opponent. Still, Enrique also does not help the team. He lacks aggression, which means he has nothing to put pressure on the opponent's psychology. This failure can't be explained by a single factor. It's a combination of factors that led PSG to what it now has. There are ways to get out of the crisis, of course. But under the leadership of Luis Enrique, it's unlikely that Parisians will be able to implement them in life. In 18 months, he has failed to establish a winning philosophy and provide the team with mental fortitude. It's unlikely to happen in the future. For a quick and correct solution to the problem, a change of coach and management's work on improving the team is needed. As for the new coach, nothing has changed here. Discussions about appointing Zinedine Zidane continue, intensifying after the draw with Nantes. The Frenchman has repeatedly declined leading passage. However, it remained hopeful. Zidane will be the top choice to replace Enrique when the Spaniard departs from Paris. This can happen in the near future if it becomes clear that he won't make it to the spring festival of the Euro Cups. Paris still has a chance with 3 upcoming matches against Salzburg, Manchester City, and Stuttgart. To make it to the playoffs, Parisians need to score at least 9 points. This statistically guarantees their playoff participation. In simple terms, Parisians need 2 victories. But they are so unaccustomed to playing on the international stage, their internal turmoil has shaken their confidence so much that there's no certainty in these victories. If Luis Enrique fails, the management will quickly sideline him. And on the same day, they'll call Zinedine Zidane to say that the position is open again. I'm hoping for such an outcome. Firstly, because the Passengers' failure in the Champions League is quite a piece of news. And secondly, because I want to see Zidane at work again. Because we still haven't figured out whether he's a genius or a charlatan. So the name of another footballer who was locked up by Robin Mari became known. There were already rumors that the Portuguese coach didn't like 7 MU players at once. Now there's an 8th, and his name is Marcus Rashford. According to the source, the forwards form did not impress the new team coach. They are prepared to let him go. In the beginning, Amari intended to utilize Rashford as the primary striker. The Portuguese released him in the debut match, and he made his mark after just a minute and a half. But after observing his work and training more, Amari changed his decision. Rashford quickly lost authority in his eyes, and is now unlikely to appear on the field often. But what confused me, something confused me, this news after Rashford's base appearance in the match with the Irish and his subsequent 2 scored balls. Nevertheless, it's not hard to believe that his career in Manchester is in question. Perhaps it was just a temporary flare-up, and he won't be put on for important matches. Do you know what drastically changed the Portuguese's attitude towards Rashford? The absence struck the Englishman in the eyes. Some kind of metaphysics. It's important to Mari that the footballer wanted to earn his place in the starting lineup and was hungry for victory. But you can't say the same about the current Marcus. He hasn't shown enthusiasm on the football field for a long time. A coach noticed this and reacted. He no longer has a free slot in the MU lineup. And the head coach will focus on developing young Rasmus Højlund, who brought a debut victory. By the way, do you prefer Haaland or Højlund? Seems like either way is fine. The coach's intention to remove Rashford splits the management. He's tired of keeping a valuable asset in the squad that doesn't deliver results. But selling him is possible. Rashford is still valued as a good footballer in the market, and good money can be made from him. But of course, under certain conditions and with some luck. Reports suggest Saudi Arabian clubs are interested in the services of the promising PSG. Parisians are still looking for ways to bolster their offense. They have probably already considered half of the available options in the European market. And yet they can't decide who to drag into their swamp. But Rashford will become the cherry on the cake of this beautiful team. Just imagine their duet with Dembele. This is just a dream for any coach. But the Englishman will fit into Saudi football organically. There are completely different speeds there, and you won't need to go all out in every match. In general, even though Amari has cornered Rashford, he has options to continue his career. However, it's still unclear if continuing his career is essential for Rashford. Changes are looming at Stamford Bridge. Winger Mikhail Mudryk may leave Chelsea this winter. The Ukrainian spends a lot of time on the field. In the Conference League, he managed to score 6 productive actions in just 4 matches, which attracted the attention of other clubs. According to sources, Chelsea is ready to part with Mudryk for a modest 30 million euros. Such a modest price is due to the club's desire to reshape the squad and get rid of surplus players. However, this makes the transfer very attractive for other teams, especially from the English Premier League. Earlier, I talked about possible interest but the list of contenders does not end there. Now, Aston Villa, West Ham United have joined the interested parties, and in case with all looks logical. The club, having made it to the Champions League, has encountered a problem of insufficient squad depth. Playing on several fronts at the same time is not an easy task, especially for teams without rich experience in European Cups. Despite a decent performance, Ville still lacks stability. One can recall a similar story with Villarreal, who once finished in the top 4 of La Liga, but already in the next season dropped out of the Premier League, not being able to handle the pressure. Aston Villa is a youngster holding on for now. But to continue the fight, it needs new recruits, and Modric could be a great option for rotation. As for West Ham, the situation is also clear. Londoners may be readying for a potential Mohamed Kudus exit. Top clubs are actively courting the Ghanaian player. It appears they won't be able to keep him. West Ham thinks Modric can replace Kudus in the starting lineup, but the interest from Brighton is a contentious issue. This team has so many players for the winger position, and spending 30 million on another competitor doesn't seem like the most logical decision for them. But perhaps the head coach has a special plan that we know nothing about yet. Considering the demand for the Ukrainian, Mikhail Mudryk is unlikely to stay in Chelsea. All that remains is to see who among the contenders makes the first move. Mohamed Salah keeps thrilling Liverpool fans with his performance. His team can certainly handle even strong opponents. The Egyptian himself appears to be undergoing a second youth. His stats are terrifying. One nuance: the contract of the falling one has not been extended yet. It's already December, and there has been no offer from the club. All indications suggest he will depart Anfield when the season concludes. Even the player himself constantly talks about it. Even after the game with Man City, he didn't fail to remind that there's still no new contract on his table. Frankly, the expiring contract situation is on my mind. As it stands, this is my last home game against Manchester City for Liverpool. So I just wanted to enjoy it, and once again, Salah came through. That's why he is now one of the most sought-after persons in the transfer market. Clubs see him not only as a high-class forward, but also as a huge marketing asset. And Salah enjoys immense popularity among Arab fans. So it's not surprising that both European giants and clubs from other regions have taken notice of the Egyptian. Inter Miami was among the contenders. David Beckham's club continues to surprise with its approach to transfers, and sometimes surprises not in a positive way, but not in this case. Attention of an even larger audience. This is especially important for the team, as it attracts the attention of an even larger audience. This is crucial for the team, as higher interest leads to increased profit. Such a move has already worked with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez. These transfers not only brought championships, but also the necessary attention to the club, and money followed. However, Inter Miami probably can't offer Salah a huge salary. Instead, the club is likely to follow the same scheme as with Messi, adding a percentage of income to the contract. The Argentine receives just $15 million from the club, but his income quadruples due to the percentage from TV rights and merchandise sales. At the same time, Salah has another option: Saudi Arabia. This league actively attracts stars and is ready to offer fantastic money. Moreover, the Egyptian is close to the culture of the region, which may play a role. There is also another question about the position on the field. Salah and Lionel Messi both play on the right side of the attack. How does Miami plan to combine these two stars? This is a mystery. Argentina could have been mixed deeper, but in a recent match for Miami, he played almost in the defensive zone, which looked ineffective. Several opponents' footballers held him, not letting him breathe calmly. Considering all the nuances, it's difficult to envision Salah actually transferring to Inter Miami. However, any news can happen. Liverpool clearly has systematic difficulties. Anything can happen. Liverpool evidently faces persistent issues with contract renewals. The club's management appears incapable of negotiating with the players. This raises more questions. Let's figure out what's happening. Let's start with Mohamed Salah. The Egyptian has repeatedly complained that no one has contacted him about a new agreement yet. Time is running out, and the situation remains uncertain. Rumors are circulating that Trent Alexander-Arnold may move to Real Madrid this winter. Luis Diaz, another key player, has also been added to this list. The Colombian has played a crucial role in the team this season and is almost always in the starting lineup, displaying outstanding quality of play. However, despite his success on the field, negotiations about his quality of play have stalled. Despite his success on the field, talks about extending Diaz's contract have hit a dead end. Sources say the parties are at an impasse. The footballer was dissatisfied with Liverpool's offer, but the club won't budge. The parties have reached a deadlock, which is concerning as such. Situations are risky for clubs based on past experience. Trent is also on pins and needles before the move to Madrid. Now Diaz might join them. His situation, of course, has attracted the attention of European giants. Among the contenders are PSG and Barcelona. The Catalans have previously shown interest in the Colombian. In the summer, Arne Slot convinced Diaz to stay, assuring him of an important role in his plans. However, the situation has now changed. Barcelona is still closely monitoring the player, and PSG is ready to join the race. Liverpool urgently needs to offer Diaz terms that meet his expectations. Otherwise, the club risks losing another key footballer. Diaz's successes have bolstered his transfer market position, and if the contract issue is not resolved in the near future, competitors will not miss the opportunity. Barcelona may have less need for the Colombian's services, with star player Rafinha having settled in, but PSG is unlikely to refuse to strengthen their attacking line with such a classy winger. Moreover, he has enough resources to satisfy Liverpool's demands, and also to make a decent offer to the player himself. Chelsea simply blew Aston Villa away with a 3-0 score. A well-deserved victory for the Blues. A classy and intense match was performed by the understudies of Enzo Mareschi. True, all this was felt against the backdrop of Aston Villa's recent decline. In the last 8 matches, Birmingham has had 5 losses and 3 draws. Cole Palmer was named man of the match. Before the game, halfback Morgan Rogers, his friend from Villa, said his teammate would not lose. In response, Palmer said he would take the player of the match trophy. Cool scored 1+1 and trolled his friend on social media. By the way, Palmer's goal is a must-see. A very beautiful shot into the top left corner. You can find the review on our channel. Next up, Manchester United will face Ruben Marima. The Red Devils defeated Everton 4-0. This is the biggest MU victory in the Premier League for a long time. The last time the Mancunians won in the championship with a difference of 4 or more balls was back in August 2019, when they were coached by Solskjaer. This score is primarily due to the terrible Ertugrul. 2 difficult losses due to United's weak pressing. A maximally stupid cut into his own goal from Brandwine, although they play defensively. If they keep playing like this, they may get eliminated. They're playing poorly. If they keep this up, they might get eliminated. United's game is still chaotic, messy, and it's understandable. Amorim recently took over the team, and his ideas haven't fully reached the players yet. Plus, Ruben is actively coming into rotation. Only 5 players who participated in the match against Boudili came out in the start. MU is still learning to control the match. The team struggles to maintain possession of the ball. But there's enough class and technique to successfully organize quick attacks. Josh Zirkzee became one of the main heroes of the match. The Dutchman was very good. I particularly note his back pass with his head to the gates. And now rumors are so active that the management is disappointed in him and is going to sell. Perhaps there is no need to rush and give the Dutchman a chance to unfold under Amarima's management. Arne Slot already did in his first match against Manchester City, what Jurgen Klopp could not do. With the Dutchman, Liverpool stifled City, becoming the only team on the field. Of course, the point here is also that City is not on a roll right now. Such a thing would have been nearly impossible otherwise. However, it's worth noting that even now, the citizens create more moments than their rivals, if we believe the statistics in the unsuccessful series. But City didn't have a single clear moment with Liverpool. The citizens' strikes on the Reds' gates were a rarity. Interestingly, City lost its stability during the recent matches, starting very briskly and confidently. But the game against Liverpool was different. Liverpool's control in the first 30 minutes made it seem like the teams were from different leagues. The Reds scored in each half, but had opportunities for additional goals. Honestly, it's even worth praising the team. They squandered chances in a crucial match. But after the victory, you really don't want to say anything negative about the Reds. Liverpool outclassed City in both halves, despite playing differently in each. The Scouts pressed in the first half and played coolly from the counterattack in the second due to a comfortable lead. Mohamed Salah scored and made an assist. After the match, he hinted again at a likely departure, as previously discussed. All of Anfield was chanting, "We want you to leave in the morning." Of course, this was dedicated to Pep Guardiola. The coach responded in Mourinho style, showing 6 Premier League titles with his fingers, and then complained about the Red fans in the post-match interview. Why wasn't this the case last season when City won the Premier League? Why now? I didn't expect this from Anfield. Liverpool has amassed a substantial 9-point lead over their competitors. And of course, Merseyside are the favorites for the title. Let's hope the team doesn't lose momentum. Serie A yesterday barely avoided a tragedy. The incident occurred in the central match of the tour between Fiorentina and Inter. Edoardo Bovi of Fiorentina abruptly ran onto the field in the 17th minute. He lost consciousness and began to convulse. Denzel Dumfries reacted quickest. The Dutchman began to provide first aid to his opponent. The other players immediately started calling for medics on the field, and the referee stopped the game. Luca Ranieri from Fiorentina even aggressively urged a member of the medical staff, who was taking too long to arrive. Players from both teams were praying and crying right on the field, as was the match referee Daniele Doveri. Bovi only left the field in an ambulance. The regulations prohibit the ambulance from driving onto the pitch, so Bovi had to be carried to it on a stretcher, while the players demanded an exception to the rules. Eduardo is currently in stable condition at the Cambridge University Hospital. Initial tests have ruled out severe damage to the central nervous and cardiovascular systems. In the near future, Bowie is awaiting further examination to figure out the exact cause of what happened. According to media information from Florence, Bowie had an epileptic seizure, which caused a cardiac arrest. The seizure was likely caused by a collision with Denzel Dumfries moments prior. Bowie took a hit to the chest and liver area. After this, Bowie changed his shirt and complained about the pain, saying that he was still unconscious at night. Let's hope that Eduardo was still unconscious tonight. Let's hope that Eduardo woke up today. The Fiorentina-Inter match has been indefinitely postponed, with no new date set. Serie has banned players from giving post-match interviews in this round. Bowie's career and even life are under threat. Perhaps, after what happened to the talented boy, whom Jose Mourinho called extraordinary, smart, and modest, he will have to hang up his boots. But let's wait for the best news from the doctors. In the Copa Libertadores final, real madness happened. Zaruba Batfoga and Atletico Mineiro distinguished themselves gloriously. Not long before the game, the Buenos Aires police detained Atletico Mineiro's mascot, named Crazy Rooster, due to inappropriate behavior in the market. One would think the local jail was very happy to have a guy in a rooster costume. Although this is purely a Commonwealth of Independent States issue, everywhere the match itself started with a removal. The commentator didn't even have time to announce, and the match itself started with a removal. The commentator didn't even have time to announce it to the opponent's face. He almost sent his opponent deep into the opponent's face. Just a little more, and he would have sent his opponent into a deep knockout. And after such, it seemed, Botafogo has no chances for the trophy. However, the team persevered and scored 2 goals in the first half. In the second half, they heroically held out in the bus. Botafogo wins 3-1 their first Libertadores Cup victory. Now we know all the teams that will participate in the Club World Championship. Botafogo has passed away. Lionel Messi will play in the tournament, but Cristiano Ronaldo will not. Al Nassr is inadequate. But Cristiano has another reason to be proud. Have you ever seen a club dedicate an entire kit to a current player of another team? But Sporting made a kit in honor of Cristiano and his number 7. The new kit is also a tribute to all Portuguese players who aspire to replicate Ronaldo's success. Sporting primarily approached it symbolically. Fans in the comments are urging Sporting to go further and propose symbolically. Fans in the comments are urging Sporting to go further and offer Cristiano a contract. We switch to the central match of Ligue 1, where Marseille hosted Monaco. Monaco had a great first half and deservedly appeared on the scoreboard. Monaco excelled in midfield after the selection. The combination was finished by Alexander Golovin. This marks his 3rd scoring action this week. It was worth moving the Russian to the left flank of the attack as he started to pull. Perhaps he should play there all the time. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Friends, don't forget that we have our own radio show on Chance on America Radio. And don't forget that I have an Instagram, which I am now actively running. By the way, a new photo from the Hollywood Hills has appeared there. Be sure to like and leave a comment. Well, I'll leave a comment on your profile. I think it's a fair deal. Well, my name is Kirill Cast, and this was your daily dose of football. Peace to your house and Johanga, friends.